It is Wine Wednesday, so I would go with a nice glass of white wine. Personally, I like a Riesling or a Gavi.
A Gavi would be good.
A Gavi.
Gallon of Gavi. Thank you very much indeed. Always drink responsibly. And also fizzy water is very nice.
Obviously.
Today's confession comes from Tufty. Tufty, thank you very much indeed. Simon and the kind umpires of forgiveness. I seek forgiveness for an incident in the gym about 10 years ago. Gym-based confessions, we like them.
Yeah.
Being slightly north of 40, a little overweight and mostly unfit, I was probably best described as an enthusiastic trier. As enthusiastic trier, and as ever on this occasion, I was feeling it. I was armed with my trusty water bottle filled with a generous dilution of a well-known blackcurrant juice and a selection of Guns N' Roses power tracks.
Oh, that's the way.
On my noise-cancelling headphones. Check me out. I headed into the gym confident I would set a few personal bests, whatever they are. I would always start with a gentle warm-up on the cycling machine, but after a short time, sweating already, I noticed two couples walking up to the running machines. All four of them stood in a row with their immaculate sporting physiques, matching white shorts just above the knee and perfect creases ironed down the front. Who has ironed gym clothes? Nobody, real. They had identical pale blue shirts and white collars. The two men didn't have a hair out of place, and the two ladies had lovely flowing blonde locks. They looked perfect, annoyingly perfect. All ready to walk down the catwalk and put in some serious gym time. They were the strutting peacocks in the farmyard, and it's my farmyard. Anyway, I took it personally. They had a little discussion as they set the running machines up, and then in a coordinated effort, they all pressed go together. Pathetic, preening newcomers, I thought, as I watched them with their pulled-up white socks and their matching trainers with gold trim. They do have annoyingly good form, however, as my 5-minute warm-up came to its conclusion. I staggered off to do some other exercises with the occasional irritated glance back. They were still going, perfect form, and not a bead of sweat on any of them. A while later, I moved on to the rowing machine. My gym had 4 of them altogether, and the immaculate people had just sat at 3 of them. I was hesitant to use the 4th, but was saved from embarrassment as immaculate person number 4 stood up from the weight bench just opposite and joined them before I got there. He left his weights on the floor for some commoner like me to put them away. As the rowing machines were now all in use, I thought, okay, well, I'll do some weights. His newly vacated, sweaty space on the bench was spare, with abandoned weights next to it. I noticed the dumbbells he had rudely left were quite a bit heavier than I usually used, but I was not going to put them back on the rack for him and pick up the lighter ones. No way, he might see me. I thought, I can do this. Straining, I picked his weights up, rolled onto my back and managed to lift them aloft the first time, thinking, oh, heck, these are a bit heavy, but I was now committed. Can I just say, you probably don't know which way this one is going to go.
Right.
There was no way I could do 1 rep and then surrender to my normal weight with the immaculate people watching. I imagined them discussing my struggles whilst they rowed in sweat-free harmony. I managed to lift the weights a second time, took a slight pause at the top. It was about now that I realised I was in trouble, as a slight twitch in my left arm knocked me off balance, and I had no alternative other than to bail out and bring the weights down in a semi-controlled crash down on each side of my bench. Thud on one side, thud on the other side, and I lay there for a moment, broken, eyes closed, thinking about how I could save some dignity in front of the immaculate people. Axl Rose was singing Knock, Knock, Knocking on Heaven's Door through my headphones as I sat up and opened my eyes. There was a scene of devastation unfolding right in front of me. The immaculate people had changed from perfect white into livid tie-dyed purple. They stood examining each other, dripping in a mysterious dark purple fluid. The white wall behind them had also turned purple with 4 white silhouettes. Well, this is odd, I wondered as I reached down for my trusty water bottle that was now flat and entirely empty with a 32-kilogram dumbbell sitting on top of it. One of the immaculate people walked across to me, handed me the top of my water bottle and said, I think this is yours, with a stare that could turn milk sour. Well, that was a waste of blackcurrant, was the only thing I could say, as I hastily vacated the area to the changing rooms. And then I'm afraid Tufty loses something. He says, I said to the assistant, the duty person, there's a bit of a mess in the waiting area, in the weights area. If you could just Sita. I stayed away from the gym for a week afterwards and never saw the Immaculate People again. Makes sound so they're from outer space. I don't seek forgiveness from the Immaculate People, as it was their fault for not putting their weights away in the first place and expecting someone else to do it. Oh, a bit like you did.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else was caught in the crossfire, but I would seek their forgiveness if there was anyone in the crossfire, which there definitely wasn't. I would like to seek forgiveness from the gym cleaning staff and the duty person dealing with the incident, and finally forgiveness from the gym itself that had to bring decorators in to remove the purple stains with 4 perfect white silhouettes from the wall. Makes it sound as though it was like blood spatter, which is a fantastic thing. Good.
Nice fade.
Nice control. Nice control. Billy boxing gloves there. Sister Susie, going first there from the pub.
Well, do you know what, Tufty? I was with you for quite a while of that. I like that you're an enthusiastic trier. You did really well. Those people definitely sounded annoying. However, it wasn't their fault, was it? Because it was your fault for not just being, strong enough to put those weights down and use ones that were the right weight for you. You shouldn't have gone big. You should have just gone normal. And also letting the other people know that there was a mess and not telling them that you did it. That wasn't very fair. So I'm not going to forgive you.
Brother from another gutter.
Gyms are just the worst, mainly because of, obviously, other people with their weights and their tops and their sweat.
They're usually actors waiting for a part.
Oh, aren't they just? Oh, dear. No, I am definitely going to forgive on this, because it strikes me that Tufty really didn't want to go back to that gym anymore. And frankly, I'm with him or her. I can't remember with Tufty. Could be either. So I am definitely forgiving and find more paradise sitting in a Guns N' Roses kind of way.
Good.
Yes, no. I think so. Paradise sitting.
People's Vetting, please, do you forgive Tufty? Yes or no?
Wow.
It absolutely doesn't work.
Good.
61054, first word is Simon.
Yeah, loving it.